Soul to Soul. We are a weekly broadcast for dance teachers, studio owners, and those who have a passion for dance education. It is about celebrating the dance life, highlighting our common bond, and the chance to share both the triumphs and struggles within the field that we all love so much. Be sure to check out all our broadcasts at regold.com.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday night. Welcome to Soul to Soul. I'm excited about tonight's show. It's been quite a week in the dance world, and I have three guests that I have been talking to prior to this show, and I know we're going to have a good time tonight. For those of you that are new to our broadcast, we're about authenticity and sharing our passion for the art of dance that we all love so much. And for those of you that are new, check out our past Soul to Soul broadcasts at regold.com. You can also see some or listen to some podcasts, articles there, videos. Check it out, regold.com. Tonight, we welcome three special guests, including Amanda Herring, Patty Neal, and Deborah Steele. They're passionate, strong women, leaders, not only of their studios, but within their communities. And I'm really excited to hang out with them tonight. Soul to Soul next Friday will feature Julie K. Stalcup. She's passionate. She's full of energy. She will take us on a journey like you wouldn't believe. And I'm so excited that she'll be joining us. So next week, I can't hear. I don't think there is sound. I just want to be sure before I go on.
Sorry.
And I'm hoping that you can hear. Let us know in your comments whether you are having a problem hearing us tonight, because I want you. Okay, Kelly says she can hear us. Here we go. So I was talking about Julie K. Stalcup next Friday. Join us, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the comments, let us know where you're from. I want to know where everybody is listening from tonight. Dance friends. Also, I want to thank Weissman's. They are the sponsor of tonight's broadcast, and we will learn more about them later in the program. But I'll just say how much I appreciate them for what they bring to our industry and for sponsoring the Regold Company and tonight's broadcast for as long as they have. Look at this. We have good old Massachusetts. Great to hear from you. But we have Florida. We have Pennsylvania, Canada, Iowa. Let's see, Illinois. June's telling me she can hear. June is from Canada as well. Hi, Pam Simpson. Hi, Luann. Laura. Lots of fans on tonight. Awesome to see you guys. And now I have a quick on my mind that I would like to share, a Friday thought. When I present my seminars, I always ask, how many of you were the best dancer in your class? In groups as large as 500 sometimes, only one or two raise their hands. Now, some might be intimidated to actually admit it, but in reality, one or two raise their hands. This tells me something that I think is really important for all of us to think about and to know. Most of the time, it's not our best students who move on to become the pro dancer or the teacher. Often the best take their natural talent for granted and never feel the passion that burns in every committed dancer. Instead, it turns out to be the little dancer in the second row who struggles with her turnout and never hits a real passe for a long time, who someday takes the Broadway stage by storm or becomes the awesome teacher whom you take pride in having trained. Look and appreciate the little dancer in the second row that may not be as strong as the others, but boy, does she have the passion. Grab her by the hand, bring her to the front of the classroom, and make her day. It could be the little moment that gives her the confidence to become you. So if I could sum that up, I'd love to say it like this. As a teacher, look for the little yous in your classroom, the one that might hide in the back. Don't just think you want to teach them how to dance. Think, I'm going to set a goal that in 2 months, I want that child to walk into my classroom and just naturally go in the front row because she has that much confidence in herself. That we can look at the children who we teach and we can decide what it is that's going to get them to a place where they're going to want to learn, where they're going to have the confidence to believe in themselves. And I know that all of us have dancers that work really hard and struggle, and we're not sure if they're going to make it. Know that what's going on in their heads just might build them into this really passionate teacher who appreciates the struggle and makes beautiful dancers someday. And you can be so proud of that. So look for the little yous is how I sum that up. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that if you want to share them in the comments. Also, tonight I want to say I really appreciate the Weissman Company. As you know, they are an American costume and dancewear design company that has been in business for over 60 years, and they have remained family-owned. They have a true passion for the art of dance and a dedication to impeccable customer service. I'd like to share with you a little bit about Weissman's. Thank you again, Weissman's. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to welcome our guests. Please give a warm welcome to Amanda Herring. She's from Hernando, Mississippi, running Stage Door Dance Studio. Hello, Amanda.
How are you? Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited to have you. Welcome, my friend. Let's welcome Patty Neal, Depew, New York. Her studio is Dance Spectrum. Hi, Miss Patty.
Hi, Ree. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday and welcome. And last but not least on our panel tonight, please welcome Deborah Steele. Deborah, how are you?
I'm great. Hopefully everyone is too.
We are excited to have you with us tonight. I'm excited to have all three of you, honestly and truly. Why am I excited? I said it a little bit earlier in the show, but I'm going to reiterate it. Strong women who have held on and maneuvered through this pandemic with the positive attitude, making the changes they needed to make, and still smiling even though the struggle is real. How is that for a description?
Good.
We've got you right where we want you, Ree. That sounds great.
Miss Amanda, I ask all of our guests, and I'm going to start with you tonight, for a quote that kind of describes where you're at in life right now. Would you share that with us?
I'm a collector of quotes, so this was not hard for me. So I found one that's pretty true every single day. By living truthfully, you change other people. By living truthfully, you change other people.
What does that mean to you?
So if I didn't know this already, one thing I was reminded of through COVID is how important it is to be yourself and be real and be transparent. And when you're real and yourself and you're genuine and you're transparent, that's how you reach people. People like that. People are drawn to that. It works. They listen to you. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to support you. And, they need it. They need real and genuine. Children need it. Everybody does.
I have to follow up and say, so were you a little less like you just described before the pandemic?
I think I was concentrating all the time on being a professional and being fun and being fabulous and amazing 100% of the time. But the truth is, nobody is fabulous and amazing 100% of the time. So, most of the time. But it helped people to understand that I was a real person and that we were all going through the same thing. And I think it helps them to know that, we're not super people. We have families and we have children and we have lives and we have our own personalities and things we like and we hurt and, we worry and everything else. So to share some of that is important.
It's called authenticity, and I agree with you 100%. I actually can feel like a breakthrough of the ability to be more authentic rather than to worry so much about what somebody might say. But we're going to talk more on that. Let me see. I want to stay in order here. Miss Patty, you are next up. Tell us the quote that you brought with you.
I'm also a fan of quotes, and I have little quotes and motivational things everywhere on my bathroom mirror, on the faculty bathroom mirror, everywhere. But the one that came to me today was by a man named Chogyam Trungpa. I hope I'm saying it right. This is your world. It is your feast. Look at the greatness of the whole thing. Look, don't hesitate. Look, open your eyes, don't blink, and look further. And that really made sense to me because of where we are, and to try to think positive about the future and our world, and to open our eyes and find a new path if necessary, and keep looking. keep looking, open my eyes. And that's taught me a lot.
And how do you use it right now within this field or daily activity in your studio?
Well, I'm trying with my amazing staff and faculty to look for the future, and the things, so many of the things we've implemented with COVID are in fact really good things, and keeping them and changing with the future, and using what we've learned and not being afraid to go forward with growth and new ideas and new, not going back to where it was. I don't want to go back to where it was. So yeah, when I found this quote, it just kind of really word to me, look, don't hesitate, look. And yeah,
I love
that helps
Patty.
anybody.
I love that you said there's things you don't want to go back. You might have said it a different way, but there's things that you don't want to go back to. I hope everybody listening hears that. You know, we don't have to go back. If it didn't feel right, or it was too much, or it was just not in our vibe, we don't have to do it anymore.
I think with a lot of things, Ree, we didn't even know it wasn't maybe right, or there was a different thing until we were pushed over the cliff. Like, I think without this, I would have just stayed because it worked. So try to think of that as
I'm wondering what our audience thinks of this, and I'll ask you this. Could parts of this pandemic really have been a blessing?
I believe yes. Besides the tragedies that so many lives and people have been affected by in so many ways, I believe it's a good thing in many ways. And I see in my own circle, but I see it in other I think we're supposed to learn something here.
I'm with you on that. I would love to hear our viewers' opinion on that. I feel like, I don't know, I guess it was last March when I started to do broadcasts with dance teachers. And as hard as this have been, I can't tell you how much growth I've seen in some of the people that I interviewed 8 months ago, and in our field in general. As tough as this is, and I'm trying to think of how to say this right, but as broke as everyone is.
Yeah.
How cool is it that we got all these tools that we can move forward with and use to pull ourselves out of this place because we were forced to do this? Okay. Miss Deborah, sometimes I don't know whether to call you Debbie or Deborah. It's an interchangeable thing with you.
It is.
Tell me, what quote did you come with?
Okay, so my control freak in me go-to is always, she designed the life she lived, because that's my control freak quote, right? It means that I have complete control, but then COVID hit and you don't. And so the quote that I chose now is, trust the process. Every decision you've ever made has brought you to where you are today, exactly where you were meant to be. So when I first thought about that, every decision you've ever made is not just good ones. So it's for all of us. Every decision we've ever made has brought us to where we are today, good, bad, and different. We're here because of those. And because of those, we're exactly where we're meant to be right now. And I do believe that. I absolutely believe that. And I do believe that the COVID thing has pushed us to an uncomfortable place, which is the only place we can go to grow, is when we have to be pushed and it's uncomfortable. Because nobody ever wants to sit in uncomfortable. It's not a fun place. It's not comfortable. So but that we can't grow without being there. But we shy away from it because it's easy and it's stuff that we've always done. So I think there's a lot of things that are horrific about it, but I also think there are some things that were necessary for us to move forward as humans.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So I'll start with you, Amanda. When it comes to your perspective prior as I got to back this up, as a business owner, what is the difference between your goals or objectives now from where they were last February?
Let's see. My side note, my husband had cancer in 2015 and we made it. And that experience taught us to love bigger and make the most of experiences. So I think before COVID, my mind was in grow this business, make this happen. How can we had just moved into a brand new space, double the size of our old one. Where's the numbers? Can we make it? We had activities and themes and special nights and stuff going on all the time. And COVID brought me back to that place where this is not about that. This is about loving people big. So I was able to go back around that circle and revisit that again and realize that's really what it's all about, not the themes and the dollars and the numbers. Now my goal's different.
Okay, I want you to go a little deeper with me and tell me what loving people big means.
I love people big. I love people big anyway. So it's not a hard one. When I started my studio, I had no idea what I would go through. You know, we think we know, and then we get into it and we don't. And I make a joke all the time that it's 20% dance and it's 80% listening to children because they all have a story, whether they're 4 years old or they're in my adult class and they're 40. Loving people big means making them feel like they're a part of something big, which was always one of my goals when I started the school. I grew up in a dance studio that had giant, huge, fantastic productions of a recital. So I wanted that for my kids. I got the word, from kids that, we live in Hernando, Mississippi. And if you don't know where that is, it is a suburb of Memphis, Tennessee, way down in the South. We're out, we're sort of rural. And you have to go someplace bigger to make big things happen. And that's not true. You can love people big and make a difference and get people where they want to be and help them with their goals, no matter where you are. And even if you're in a small place. So now I think kids believe that, and I want them to believe them in themselves. So I work really hard to make children realize hard work pays off and that they can do it. And it doesn't matter what they brought to the table. It's about loving big.
Wow. Was a very good definition of it. Yeah, look at that. You're getting applause from all over the world, actually. But I want to say, in adding to that, I guess, it's community, right? It's like you want them to just love being at the studio and love the feeling they have when they walk in the door, or in the case of where we're at right now. So you want a Zoom class.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm so fortunate, and I guess it's something we created, but you feel it when you walk in our door. You feel it when you walk in our door. You feel it when you read the things we post, we email, you feel it. I had a kid who danced with me for a long time, who's graduated, moved on to other things, come to the studio not long ago, and he walked in the door and he goes, "I love the way it smells, Miss Mann. I just love being here." Like it's all over me once again as soon as I walked in. And if that's the kind of thing we've created, then I've done exactly what I opened that door for.
You got a comment that says, "Wow, yes, Amanda. Wow is right." Isn't it cool that the pandemic has made some of us realize that it's making an impact on a child not how many pirouettes they can do or how awesome a dancer they become. That the pandemic has seen that more, or made us able to see that so much more.
And you know what? Full disclosure, I wasn't the best dancer in my class either. And I worried. And you remember me in the beginning. Could I give these kids enough? Am I teaching enough? Am I good enough to teach these kids? Am I bringing enough to the table? And yes, I am, but it's about more than that. So if I'm bringing those other things to the table, oddly, it's rare. You know, people look for that school who does that, and they look for that person who brings that to their children. So, and during COVID, especially, children have issues now, as if they didn't before. And they need us so bad. They need us so bad. So that's what we're for. That's what we do.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Miss Patty.
Yes.
We go back a long time. I don't want to tell everybody how many years, but it's a long time. I was about
It's
10
like
years
50.
old. I know it is. I was little, though. I was 5 or something.
Yeah.
But this is what I want to say. I've seen you through all these years be on this life roller coaster of joys, happiness, and some tragedies and some tough things. But as we got into this pandemic, every time that I've talked to you, you just seem so cool and at ease. And I want to know, how come at a time where probably business is so difficult, the question of what tomorrow will bring is so difficult, how'd you land in this Zen place?
I don't know if it's a Zen place, but I do know what you mean. Yes, my studio's in its 42nd year. We've seen many ups and downs, and like you said, personally, I have as well. I don't know. I have a lot of great friends and family as my support circle, and I'm not going down yet. I'm not going down, and even like everybody did in the country when the COVID thing, we all pulled up our bootstraps, put your big girl panties on, and let's figure this out. I thank God for my small business loan that I got, from the SBA, because that is what's kept me going, because our enrollment is down 35%. But like I said earlier, it's brought me back to the place, like Amanda, of why we're doing what we're doing. And it's so much to me now. I see it so clearly that it's quality more than quantity. And the quality we have right now with our 340 students is great. Like Amanda said, you could feel it when you come in. The kids are smiling. They're getting to know each other more. The community is developed more than it ever has in 42 years. And I think that's what keeps me going. I love kids. I always have. I love teaching. I always have, even though I'm not teaching at all. This is my 3rd season, I think, that I'm out of the classroom. But it's good. I don't know, Ree. I'm not going down yet.
I love that. I love your fighting spirit. I know you're not teaching, but tell everybody what you do on a daily basis at your studio, so that the studio owners out there realize what I guess we mean when we talk community, because I'm impressed with what you're up to. Tell everybody what you do.
Well, from like 10 in the morning till 3, it's business time and phone call time and paperwork time and personal time. And once the doors open at 4 o'clock, I make sure I'm in the lobby. We are lucky we have 2 separate entrances, and I have 6 of my older assistants, and I call them the safety squad, and they're greeting, they're filling sanitizers, they're doing all the things, steaming the rooms, greeting the people. But whenever possible, I try to be in the waiting room, greeting the people, opening the door. I'm like the doorman, happy Friday, welcome to the studio, let's have a great day. And today I don't know what was wrong with me today. I was like really singing and being really silly today. But that's fun for me. And I'm getting to know the kids a lot because they're all waiting on their little dots in the waiting room. I have a huge waiting room that usually sits probably 28 parents, 28 to 30 parents. And so the chairs are all gone and they're replaced with dots. And so there's multiple kids and they're talking to each other, and we talk about crazy things, and they're getting to know me, and they're saying, hi, Miss Patty, bye, Miss Patty, where it's exciting to me because I get to know my school and I'm not in the classroom, and they get to know me. So when I walk in and wave, there might be a little 4-year-old that'll turn and wave at me. And that happens. So I don't really have much of a life from 4 o'clock till about 8 o'clock. And then I go back in my office and I finish what I didn't do till classes end at 9:15. And then sometimes everybody leaves and I'm still there finishing what I didn't finish. And I take my dog with me and it's all good.
I understood, but let's just make it clear. You are having communication with students that you probably would not have seen on another year other than a rare occasion here or there, correct?
Absolutely. Unless because I go in and watch class, but now I feel like that's almost my time. They're getting to know me, and then the teachers come and they greet them in the lobby too, and then they'll take them down the halls to where they have to go. But I'm really enjoying the time with the kids again in a whole different way than I did my whole life.
Good for you, Miss Patty. I'm
Thanks.
proud of you, my friend.
Thanks.
Deborah, I know that this year has shined a light on dance education, how much time you've spent focused on it. Tell me about the pandemic and how it's changed your focus on dance in your life.
Amanda hit it on the head when you said it's 20% dance. And we always said that. We always said we teach so much more than dance here when we're helping, being part of the village that raises your child. But we were very focused on technique. But right now, these children need an outlet more than they ever needed an outlet. And so the wonderful part about that is what you see when they're dancing for them is authentic too. It's what they need at that point. It's what we've always wanted to come across with them, but we somehow just didn't know how to pull that out. So this kind of they can get in and they can feel and they can give you what you're asking for in a better way because they're feeling it, where they maybe were just going through the motions and they're not really feeling. But yeah, and I also noticed that not only are we a great place for the kids to be, our parents are needing this too. Our parents are calling and saying, I have a question about this and about my child, because they don't know where to turn either. And so whether we like it or not, because we've been in this kid business, and we spend so much time with some of those kids, even more than when they're home, and we know those kids, we can help, again, be a tool in those parents' toolbox for when they need help. Because as parents, especially for some young ones that are their first timers, and we've raised, I don't know, how many thousands of kids have we all raised together? And that not 2 of them are ever the same. We've got a lot of knowledge in there. And if we can help other people that are coming to us, and I think they're seeking that more than ever, because we all know that we all attract our own tribes. So the people that I have for my fingerprint of my studio is different than somebody else has for their fingerprint of their studio. And that's a good thing. You don't want all the people because it's not going to work. They're not all your tribe, right? They're not theirs. So we don't want all the people.
Right.
We want the people that believe in what you have to offer, you know?
Wow,
Yeah, well
that was well done. No, we don't need all the people. What we need is to decide.
What's our mission?
Yes, what is it that you want? You, not compared to somebody you look up to and what they have, or the studio that's down the road where you think they're happy. What do you want? And what are you really good at? Because you can't be what you're not good at either. That's it. So anybody can jump in and answer this question or give me some feedback. I'm a viewer and I'm watching, and I've been trying to hang on to the technique, and I've been trying to get my kids to be motivated, and maybe they're competitive dancers, and I'm trying to give them hope, and we're just not getting there. How do I transition into getting them in the mode to say there's more to this than the competition or learning another piece of choreography?
Well, if I can, two things. First of all, it's hard because there's days that we all want to go cry under the bed, but their motivation and how they feel in your room, it depends on you. So I really think that when I walk in there and I'm full of myself and I'm animated, I'm crazy, which is usually what I am, they are just excited and they're feeding off that, and it's wonderful and we're so happy. If I come in any other way, the mood's way down. So I feel like I'm responsible for setting the tone. But I'll tell you, the other point I wanted to make was, I think sometimes you have to give them permission to stop worrying about those things. Because they're in especially probably competitive kids, they're in this needs to be good. This is going to go on stage. This needs to be perfect. This needs to be technically right. And we also live in a time where kids think everything's going to be perfect that they learn in 5 seconds. So they get down on themselves super hard in a matter of minutes if they don't, do 3 perfectly clean pirouettes in a row. And it might help to give them permission not to worry about that right now. They need to know it's okay not to be technically correct, and it's okay to fall out of that turn, and it's okay to need to work on flexibility longer, because we're not in that place anymore. We're in the place where this is about joy. So we have to help them find it.
Okay, I know Patty right away had something to say there too, but it is, you said something there that was so important that I hope our viewers are hearing. It's up to us. Their attitude is up to us. Meaning if we're disappointed or we're expressing disappointment because we can't do this or can't do a dance competition, then they're going to be disappointed. If we're excited that we get the chance just to dance and be with each other, whether we get to do a dance competition or not, they'll also.
Hey, Ree, it's kind of like that costume that you order that comes in, you open it, and it's the most god-awful thing you've ever seen, but you wouldn't dare say it out loud because then the whole studio thinks, oh my Lord, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. What were we thinking? Hey, this better be the prettiest costume we've ever seen, and we're so excited. So now everybody's excited, and you just move on. So I think we just got to come to the table with that kind of attitude every time.
It's that we must recognize our own ability to control a situation with our attitude. Miss Patty, add to this.
I was just going to say that sometimes it's okay not to dance and just to talk to the kids. What a lot of the teachers have been doing recently, and I do it in the waiting room too, we check in with each other on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being really great. How are you today? And I did it with a bunch of teenagers, competitive level kids that had a 10-minute break between classes, and they were like in the studio laying on their dance bags, on their phones, not even talking to each other. So of course I went in there and started talking and asked them, how were they? And one of the girls said she was a 3. And I went, whoa, I didn't ask why you were 3, but I just you know, they all talked and added different things. They started talking. And I said, so today's class, let's work on getting, you know, Patty from a 3 to a 4. Let's see if we could do that. And we'll dedicate the whole class. And after class, they were up. They all went up a level. And I think it's a great thing to do, to let them know that maybe they don't feel okay and we don't have the answers about a competition or a choreography, but let's just be in the moment and enjoy each other. Like Amanda said, this is so great that because we are in the studio, limited capacity. They're all in their boxes or bubbles, whatever you want to call it, but we're in the studio. So it's great. And sometimes just to make that as the point of the class, not yes, they're doing technique. Yes, they're doing choreography. Yes, they're having fun, but let's just make it this is what we did Thursday night. We got this girl from a 3 to a 4. And to me, that's what it's all about right now.
Deborah, before I go to you, you realize, Patty, that for a lot of us, I think I've changed, and I know you have, but our glory and our perception of our success was always, and you grew up in this, I think, as well, how great a student we could produce.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what we've had to come to realize in this full circle place, that yes, that is important and a part of what we're going to do, and we will have that, if you want to call it glory. But the reality is that now we know for sure that it's the impact that we have on a kid, and
Totally.
that can happen in 1 hour a week in the dance studio.
Tonight, if I could say one more thing, the kids were rehearsing their piece because we're redoing a lot of pieces from last year, putting new kids in. Teachers are, you know, making changes. And I said, this is like one of my favorite dances. And it truly is. So they did it. And I said, you guys, you just made me a 7. I was a 6 before. Now I'm a 7. And they were so excited that we made Miss Patty a 7. And it, I don't know. It was cool.
Yeah. We're in it together.
Yeah, totally.
Kids, adults, the world. If only the world would recognize that. We're in this together, but that's another show. Deborah, any thoughts on what we've been talking about?
Yeah, I'm a little more tough love in that I think if they're dancing in a grateful channel, then it's really hard to go down the rabbit hole. So I think that I'm lucky in that the staff that I have they're emotionally healthy. So when they go in and they give them exercises or choreography or all of that improv that's so important right now, because you're going to get some great stuff out of these kids right now, all the way down to those young ages, right? You're going to get great stuff. You know, if you want to see contemporary, give a 7-year-old improv. So I think that our teachers are pulling that out of them. They're pulling the music that's a little more grateful, and did you have a good day today? And because I don't like to hear when someone says, a kid will just be talking and they'll say something like, oh, I hate my life. And then Miss Debbie just goes all off. Like, really? Really? Do you know who hates their life? The person who's living in a cardboard box under the bridge. They hate their life. You can't hate your life. You're here in a dance studio. So I'm a little more tough love in that we're going to believe exactly what we think. So we have to also try to channel those kids' thoughts in a different direction. And if dance can't do that for those kids that have chosen a dance studio, that's our main goal. That's our main goal is to bring that out. It's their outlet. I can say that until I'm blue in the face. It was my outlet. It's what allowed me to express myself without thinking.
Yes.
If I had a bad day and I went to the studio, and my studio was my home. It was my home. I loved every second of it, and I spent as much time as humanly possible there. And it shaped me. So I want to do that. I want to do that for my kids. I want them to have something that is solely theirs, that no one can take away ever. That's what I want for them.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Feeling a part of something big that's just yours.
Now, if they're great dancers, bonus.
True.
Yeah.
We are there to teach dancing. So I don't want them to think, shoot, where did all that money go? But yeah.
I like it, Deb. You said it simple. If they really turn out good, that's a bonus. If we could lower our expectation, not standards, notice I didn't say that. That's important.
Yeah.
Lower our expectations. How many more successes would we see? How many more kids would feel successful if we had that kind of a focus as we go back? So, if any of our viewers have any questions for our guests, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll see if we can't get to them tonight. But now I have a question. Anybody can jump in. January has been a tough month. I've had lots of calls with teachers and studio owners, and people are really tired. I did see a little excitement in the last few days because people are getting their PPP loans, and there's a little lift in the business of dance right now because of that. What do you say to the teachers or studio owners who are out there who are just to a point where they're questioning whether they can keep doing this? Anybody, go.
Take time for yourself.
Yeah.
Take 5 minutes every day or 10 minutes, even if it means just sitting still or reading a magazine, taking a bath, going for a walk. Physical activity is good. Take time for yourself because it is exhausting. This is mentally exhausting, spiritually exhausting. It's hard. And we're always worried about how to help other people and our students and our families and our friends. And then you have the financial burdens and the everything. So my suggestion is, and this helps me, is take that time, go in a half hour later, go in an hour later, find something where you can have the strength to go back into the battlefield. You know, it's a challenge these days. It is for me.
I think my best piece of advice on this is same as in your relationships. So, you know, say you've been married for, 40, 50 years, and all of a sudden it's starting to get just complacent. You have to stop and you have to turn around. You have to say, what was it in the beginning that I fell in love with? And I don't think it's any different for the business that you choose. Here's the problem with this particular business. Mm-hmm. We all go in emotional. We don't treat it like a business most of the time. So it becomes who we are instead of what we do. So I think that you have to ask yourself the tough questions. Is this something that I really and truly feel from the depth of my soul? Or is something else something that I feel from the depth of my soul? Just because you've always done it doesn't mean you always have to do it. So I think we have to, like COVID's going to do this to you. It's going to make you ask the tough questions. So either you're going to fall and be done, or you're going to do what you figure out why you started on day one and what drew you to it and made you want to do the 24/7 work for the 15 hours worth of pay, right? You
Right.
Figure out if that is truly what you want.
And I think I want to add.
I agree. I know I'm not.
No, you're perfect.
That's how I feel.
You're perfect.
No. Deb meets, you and I are kind of cut from the same cloth. I'm a warrior. So I think when you go to battle for yourself, You also, it's not the time to be prideful. So I think it's time, we tend to chase things that we're comfortable with. So if loving kids big and whatever is our thing, that's what we're busy doing while our business falls down. So it's not the time to be prideful. If you need help with financial stuff, if you need help with new ideas and money makers and summer programs and the Friday night thing and how to do your administrative work better, it's time to ask. So it's not the time to only chase the thing you're good at, but know what you don't know and start trying to get help about that and be serious about it. I'm not a big whiner, so I don't, it's not time for whining. It's time to get ourselves together and ask for help when we need it and take advice, take it. You think outside your box. You're going to want to do what you're comfortable with. It's probably not time for that anymore. So take those suggestions and chase something new and see what happens. And I think you'd be surprised.
Yeah, dig deep and find out what sets you, what makes you you, and what's your fingerprint of your studio. I think you need to ask yourself that question, because if you don't know, neither does anyone else, and they can go get it in 5 other places. Figure out why your studio, why it's your studio. Figure out why you have the pride in it that you do, and the conviction to stay when you're tired, and figure it out. You got to figure it out. You got to dig deep. This is not the time to just go with the flow. We can't go with the flow. It's not going to work.
And I'll tell you what, finally, nobody's judging you if you come to the conclusion that it isn't. So, you're not doing anybody a favor by trying to put a round peg in a square hole. So at the end of the day, if you've looked into all of that and it's not, you're done, you want to work it in a different capacity, or it's not for you, and there's other things you want to do and you've got on your bucket list and that you're good at, that's also okay. That's okay. And nobody is making a judgment about that. And if they do, who cares? We're not here to make judgments about that in this group anyway.
Nope. And there's a million things you can do under the dance umbrella and the dance studio umbrella. 1 million things. And
you have not failed by not
choosing to do those. Yes.
You have not failed.
Pile it on, ladies. That was really good. I think we should try that again sometime. I found that really inspiring. I love that you use the word warrior, because I do feel, I know some people might look or say that's kind of exaggerated. I don't think it is at all.
Yeah.
No, it's not an exaggeration at all. I'll tell you all that story another time. It's legit. I'm a warrior. Yeah. Yes.
I'm a warrior.
And I'm just pissed, so.
Yeah. That doesn't hurt either.
It's always angry.
Being pissed makes Deborah a warrior.
It doesn't matter where it comes from. That's okay.
Is this a cable station? Can we say
that?
Deborah.
I think so.
This is the thing. You see, we're laughing right now. We got to do more of that. We got to do more of communicating with people who get the vibe, who understand what this passion is all about. Let the little stuff go. Yeah, you might only have 7 in that class that had 13 last year, but you got 7, right? Because once you had 0, and when this is over, you might have 15 because of how hard you worked with the 7.
Agree.
Yeah.
But there was also a time in all of our careers where we had this many kids that we have right now. And that was, and we were like, oh my God, look at this, look at the amount of kids I have. So how can the same amount of kids invoke this feeling now when it invoked a completely opposite feeling when we first got the 250 kids, 5 years ago? How can it be the same scenario? Again, be careful what you tell yourself, right? Like, we're going to believe whatever we think. We got
to and whatever tape plays in our head, we have to play the right tape in our head.
Yeah. Stop the loop.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm way over time. I should have stopped like 5 minutes ago, but we got really fired up at the end of this. We'll have to do this again.
Part two.
Yeah, we'll have a part two.
There you go.
The Warriors are back. I'll let you know what night that's gonna be because this was a blast. I see somebody wrote, "We are the champions, my friends," and I agree with that. You know, Deborah, you might remember this. When I was Mr. Dance of America, I won with the song, "We Are the Champions."
There you go.
I don't want to say what year that was. I'm
Really
hoping,
long time ago.
thinking "We Are the Champions" came out long before.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Deb will not mind if you replace "I'm Still Standing" with "We Are the Champions." I mean, I don't know, but I think she probably wouldn't mind.
Okay, I'll consider that. I definitely will. I love that. This year we still dance is that right? Still we dance.
Still we dance.
Still we dance. And I was inspired by "Still We Rise."
Nice.
Okay, so final words of wisdom. I'm going to go fast on this. Amanda.
So my other quote that I brought to the table is awesome, and I love it so much. I did not wake up this morning to be mediocre. I did not wake up this morning to be mediocre. And I won't be. And if not being mediocre is what motivates me, I'm here for it. So whatever I can do to turn this day around, to be something for kids, to make my business better, to inspire all of you, to be a better wife, to be a better friend. I did not wake up this morning to be mediocre. And I think that literally every day.
Whoa, that was good. Miss Patty, follow that, my friend.
Wow. I don't know, Amanda. Holy girl. I did not wake up to be mediocre.
I'm telling you.
I'm stealing it.
Get it, girl, get it.
I'm so stealing it. You know, I did not wake up to be mediocre, and I am going to take care of myself so I can take care of others. I'm putting my own oxygen mask on first. That's my suggestion to everybody.
Yes.
Try to, drink a ton of water, eat right, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, do everything we can to stay healthy, get some sleep, try to have some fun sometime. And let's keep doing this. If this is what you love to do, like Debbie said, go back, find out what it was that brought us to this place and rekindle that. Because this journey is tough. It's tough. So take care of yourself and wake up not to be mediocre. I love that. I'm going to write it all over my mirror. I have a dry erase pen. Well, I have a dry erase marker in my bathroom.
Lipstick woman, lipstick.
No, because you could change it. I have things all over my mirror. But I'm going to write that. Thank you.
Cindy, one of our viewers, Cindy, says, Grey's Anatomy said it, do not be ordinary, be extraordinary. There you go.
I did not wake up to be mediocre. I'm writing it.
Okay, Miss Deborah.
My father, every time that we would leave him and we would kiss him goodbye, he would say, be great. So I say to each and every one of you, go out, find your superpower, because each one of you has it. You just got to find it. Find your superpower and go out and be great. Because again, between now and dead, we don't have a lot of time. Got to figure out what's your legacy going to be. What's your legacy? Right?
We're not going to spend between now and dead being mediocre.
That's right. Oh, we got our own quote. There you go, Amanda.
Okay, gotta close out. I love it all. I wish we could keep going, but stay with me for a second. I want to say thank you once again to Weissman. We appreciate you. I have gone back with your company for years and years, and I love our relationship and appreciate all of you. Before we close today's show, I want to run a commercial for the Dance Life Teacher Conference. Here we go. Are we ready for that, ladies?
I can't wait.
We are so beyond ready for that.
We're ready to hug for hours.
Yeah.
Hours and hours.
I'm hugging Deb still. I'm going to make
Oh
it
my
weird.
God.
You better
Yeah.
be ready.
We're going to be dating by the end of that convention.
It's going to be weird, people. I'm here for it.
Crossed.
Everything's crossed. Everything.
Crossed.
Yeah.
Get some people together, however we have to do it. May not be a hug. We may have to be 10 feet from each other, but I'll take it. Okay, so past episodes are available at regal.com. Next week, check us out again, 8 p.m. Julie K. Style Cup. I know you will laugh and enjoy that night. And ladies, thank you so much. This was really soul-to-soul talk. I knew I would get that from you. I appreciate you. And we'll bring this gang back again so that we can laugh and be extraordinary together again. Yes?
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Bree. Thank you. Bye, Amanda. Bye, Deborah. Bye, everybody.
Bye. I love you. You guys keep going. Thank you.